On the one-year anniversary of a deadly derailment, tonight, a CBC News exclusive. Details of warnings given to rail officials years ago. A former CN supervisor tells us what he told them, that a section of the track was potentially dangerous. And we have newly obtained video of the passenger train's violent crash near Toronto. Its 3 engineers were killed, dozens of others were injured, and investigators are still trying to piece together why it happened. The Via train left Aldershot Station on track number 2. 1.5 kilometers ahead, track switches were set to reroute it onto number 3. That crossover point had a speed limit of 24 kilometers per hour, and the drivers had been warned about it. But the train quickly gained speed, and within minutes, it hit the crossover at 108 kilometers per hour, 4.5 times the authorized speed. The CBC's Dave Seglins has been looking into this story for 1.5 years, and he has tonight's details. Dave?
Well, more details are emerging, Diana, including this never-before-seen video of the derailment along one of Canada's busiest rail corridors.
Via passenger trains routinely whip through at more than 100 kilometers an hour. And so it was with Via Train 92. Engineers seemed unaware they were headed for an old, seldom-used crossover to switch tracks, designed for speeds of no more than just 24 kilometers an hour. Watch the top of your screen. The security camera captured the end result. Watch again. The locomotive, thrown down an embankment. Nearby factory workers, unsure, climbed atop the overturned engine, but there was little hope for the 3 crew. Recovery teams, investigators worked into the night. What went wrong? How could this happen?
From the west.
This former CN supervisor told us that he warned managers back in 2006 during the installation of a brand new commuter track. He says the slow-speed crossover was a leftover from an old freight service track and should have been removed or upgraded to handle higher-speed trains.
Obsolete to the point of they were a slow-speed crossover, and you got 80-mile-an-hour traffic out there, and you got 15-mile-an-hour switches in.
CN decided to leave it in place, seldom used. He says he was told
there was no money for the upgrade. They basically aren't used anymore.
We've had serious accidents from time to time that have occurred at those crossovers.
Like in Thamesville, Ontario, 1999, and Saint-Charles-de-Bellechasse, Quebec, in 2010. This rail safety watchdog says these slow-speed switches exist on main rail lines across Canada. It would be costly to replace.
The question here is, on this particular track, which is one of the busiest passenger rail corridors in Canada, would it not have made more sense to do that, to upgrade all the crossovers, all the switches?
CN Rail in a statement says any suggestion that the company put costs ahead of safety is totally false and irresponsible.
You're coming along at that speed.
They point out they fired Scott Holmes, that former supervisor, and have been engaged in a lengthy legal battle on another matter. CN won't say why Via Train 92 was sent through that switch, but the company insists they signaled the Via crew who failed to slow down.
Now, the Transportation Safety Board agrees and says what could really have prevented this tragedy is something they've had in place in the United States since the 1950s, an automated shutdown system that automatically stops any train that blows past a signal that warns the crew to either slow down or stop. Diana?
Thanks, Dave. Dave Seglins. And we have more on this story on our website. You can hear directly from some of the passengers who were hurt that day. And you can see more of the exclusive video that Dave showed in his report. Just go to cbcnews.ca and follow the links.